Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second shelf. December, Cloak and Dagger month. If you're not familiar, that is a month-long readathon all around mysteries and thrillers and detectives. The Readathon is hosted by Mel from Mel's Bookland Adventure. I will leave a link to her announcement video down below and also links to the channels of her three co-hosts, Kate from Kate How, Kate from Novel Nomad, and Carolyn from Carolyn Reading Ramblings. There's also a group read, but not a Goodreads group, but just a group read, and you can comment on the videos of the hosts. But there are also prompts, 6 of them, and they are all around Christmas songs and then prompts that relate to these songs. And you know me, I normally don't do TBRs, but sometimes I make an exception for readathons, and certainly if it's a readathon that takes a whole month. So I decided to make sort of a TBR following the 6 prompts. And the first song is O Tannenbaum, actually one of my favorite German Christmas songs, and the book prompt going with it is read a translated work. And for this one, I chose Yrsa Sigurðardóttir's book, Last Rituals. Yes, I actually practiced her last name. Last Rituals is the first in a series, and I've never read this author. I'm not going to pronounce her last name more than once. And it was published in 2005 in Iceland and translated from the Icelandic in 2007 by Bernard Scudder. So, obviously, she is an Icelandic she. Yrsa is an Icelandic author. And The Last Rituals is set in Reykjavik, and a German student is found dead with his eyes carved out and strange signs carved on his chest, and a suspect is very soon afterwards arrested, but the family thinks they have the wrong man, and they ask a private investigator, a lawyer, Tora, to investigate. So it's the first in a series about this lawyer investigator. And I've never read this author, again, no last name, and it sounded interesting, and for this prompt I thought this is the perfect book to pick. The second song, as always, you know me, I can't remember all the prompts, so I will look to the side where I have written them down. The second song is I Saw 3 Ships, and the book prompt going with it is read a book in a location you don't usually read about. Yes, read about. Not only that I can't remember, I can't even read. Anyway, for this prompt, I picked a reread because I thought not only Cloak and Dagger, but I tried to get some rereads in December, and that's Sulari Gentle, A Few Right-Thinking Men, first published in 2010. Sulari Gentle was born in Sri Lanka, but she lives in Australia, so she is, for me, an Australian author, so also getting some Aussie lit in. Rereading Aussie lit. Jacqueline, be proud of me, I hope. And it's always also the first in a series, the Roland Sinclair series. It's historical crime fiction. This one is set in 1930, and Roland Sinclair is a gentleman private investigator. I love this series. It's the first one is quite gritty that I picked, the Icelandic one. And so I thought, to balance that off, I'll pick something more cozy. So, Roland Sinclair, 1930s, gentleman. Anyway, song number 3, Silent Nights. Read a book with an unknown adversary, or, what does it say? I can't even read it, like I said, or a story full of secrets. I have to work on my skills here. Next year, something for 2020. And for this prompt, I picked a book that I already started and then sort of put aside because I had so many buddy reads in November, so I will pick it up again for this prompt, and that's Carol Shields' Swan, first published in 1987. And it's not your typical crime fiction, but it has a lot of mystery. It's about this poet, Swan, and a couple of people who have something to do with her poetry. So you have a literature researcher, you have a biographer, and stuff goes missing mysteriously. So there are a lot of secrets, one of which is the poet's life. She was quite unknown, she was a farm wife, and underestimated, and then all of a sudden, after posthumously, because she is dead in the book, I mean, she became famous, and yeah. So this is not, like I said, not your typical crime fiction, but it has enough of a mystery in it, I think, that I can pick it for. And besides, it's my TBR. I can do what I want. So I pick Swan by Carol Shields for the third prompt. Song number 4, In the Bleak Midwinter. Read a book set in a cold climate or one with a plot that makes your blood run cold. And for this prompt, I picked a debut novel from this year, 2019, Laura Prescott, The Secrets We Kept. It's also historical fiction. It's set during the Cold War. Cold climate, Cold War. Like I said, my TBR, I just pick what I want and interpret the prompts the way I want it. Set in the Cold War. Just finish one sentence and then make another. That's probably another tip for 2020. And it's about a group of CIA secretaries who also turned spies. The story behind it is the book by Boris Pasternak, Zhivago, that was not welcomed in the Soviet Union at the time, and the secretaries of the book, that's what I understood, I haven't read it yet, they are tasked in helping to smuggle the manuscript out of the Soviet Union in order to get it published. I have to say, when you look at Goodreads, the book has received mixed reviews, but I'm hopeful. I love this idea of secretaries turning spies, Cold War, so I hope that I will fall on the side of the people who loved the book. Song number 5, I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day, read a mystery involving Christmas. I have to say, I'm not that big with Christmas mysteries. You have a couple of classics. So I was looking for something, first of all, cozy, but also short. And I found a novella by Connie Shelton, Holidays Can Be Murder, first published in 2009. Connie Shelton is a cozy mystery writer, and I really enjoyed her Charlie Parker series about a female private investigator. And this one is a Charlie Parker mystery, but it's a standalone. And Charlie Parker is getting ready for Christmas, visiting the in-laws, and then, of course, murder happens right next door, and she has to investigate. The book is set in New Mexico, where the author also lives, and if I understood it correctly, it also has recipes. What more do you want for a Christmas murder mystery? Song number 6, let's see. Come thou long expected Jesus, read a mystery you've been meaning to get to for a while. This was not that difficult, in the sense that there are lots of books that I've been meaning to get to for a while. And my choice for this prompt is Kate Atkinson's Human Croquet, first published in 1997. And I think croquet is this weird game where you have these sticks and then you have to hit a wooden ball through these kind of frames, something like that. Anyway, I don't know. Sounds weird. And the book sounds weird as well, but in a good way. It's set in 1960s England, in a suburb, and we follow a teenage girl, Isabel, who investigates the mystery of her family. You have a missing mother, and her father was a war hero. And there is also a sort of a fairy tale twist. I'm not sure about that, not that much into fairy tales, but this twist is about Shakespearean Elizabethan England and the history of the village during that time. So that sounded okay with me, even though I don't like fairy tales. But it's a Kate Atkinson. I love Kate Atkinson's work, her mystery books, the Jackson Brodie series, but also her non-mystery novels like Life After Life. And this one is one of the few books by her that I haven't read, so I thought it's a perfect pick for this prompt. And I thought there was a seventh prompt. But like I said in the beginning, there were 6 prompts, so there is no 7th prompt. So these were all the prompts and all the books I picked. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know whether you participate in Cloak and Dagger and tell me about the books. If you do, tell me about the books you're planning to read. And I'll see you all soon in the next one. Bye-bye.